Hello everyone, it's Scott here, and today I'll be unboxing the Day 1 edition of Neptunia Game Maker Revolution for the Nintendo Switch. So Neptunia Game Maker Revolution is the latest installment into the Hyperdimension Neptunia franchise in the West, and has been released onto the PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, Nintendo Switch and Windows PC, with an Xbox Series XS version due out soon, but I opted to give the Nintendo Switch version a try and see what it has to offer. So to start with, the front cover features Ultra Dimension Neptune, or older Neptune to some, along with artwork of 3 new characters featured within this game, and then in the middle the Neptunia Game Maker Revolution logo, with the 4 corners featuring all the relevant logos such as Nintendo Switch logo, Day 1 edition, age ratings and Idea Factory logo. On the spines, pretty much standard, Nintendo Switch logo at top, game logo in middle, and then the Reef Entertainment logo towards the bottom. On the top and the bottom, it's just the actual game logo. And then moving on to the back of the box, we have sort of a very brief synopsis or the key selling points of this particular game in multiple different languages. I'm guessing English, French, German, Spanish, possibly Italian. But interestingly, the game is only in English, French, and Spanish subtitles with the audio in English and Japanese. Underneath that is a bit of artwork featuring some of the new characters and familiar characters from the franchise, and then a couple of screenshots. But below that, in very small text, it outlines what the Day 1 edition contains, which in this case is the game, which has a reversible sleeve, 4 sticker sheets, an acrylic standee of Ultra Dimension Neptune, and a cloth poster, all of which is presented in this collector's box that they class it as. So with that tour out of the way, let's get this unwrapped so we can take a closer look at the actual contents inside this Day 1 edition of Neptunia Game Revolution. So with the cellophane wrapping removed, let's take another tour around the box. So to start with, we have the front cover, the left side of the box, the right side of the box, which as you can see has a bit of a dent due to damage in transit, but we needn't worry as the content should be fine. The top and the bottom, and then we have the back of the box. You'll notice once we lift this flap up, there's a bit of artwork there that you may or may not notice. And then we have the Nintendo Switch game sort of styled away in its own little compartment. As you can see, the actual game sleeve is exactly the same as the front cover. The back cover, though, is a little bit different, but features the same information. Obviously, the difference being that it doesn't mention Day 1 edition and contents, as it's just realistically the standard edition game inside of a limited edition box. So if you want the goodies but you don't want the game, you could realistically trade that game in or sell that game as the standard edition. But obviously I want to play it first. That aside, let's take a look at our first batch of goodies. So to start off with, we have the 4 sticker sheets. So you get 4 chibi stickers of the different characters that were on the front cover, namely Ultra Dimension Neptune, and then the 3 brand new characters that are introduced inside this particular game. Next up, we then have the Acrylic Standee, which again features Ultra Dimension Neptune or older Neptune, I believe in a HDD form. It looks really nice. And interestingly, acrylic standees like this kind of sell for about £15 to £20. So to get it included inside the Day 1 edition is a really nice bonus. And next up is the actual cloth poster. Now this poster, I haven't measured it, but it is really bigger than I expected. It's kind of like body pillar sized, but not as big, you know, one of those smaller type body pillars. But there's no holes or hooks stuck up onto, but it's a nice cloth poster featuring older Neptune in her glorious standing form. Now we have the Neptunia Game Revolution Nintendo Switch game case. So there we have the front cover, we have the spine, and then we have the back cover. And as you can see, all the information in presentation is multi-language. So I guess Idea Factory and Reef Entertainment now are using one packaging presentation to use throughout Europe, as opposed to creating individual SKUs for English audiences, French audiences, German audiences, etc., etc. It does mean now that in Europe we would get like a lot of different age rating logos attached to the box, like for instance the FSK logo combined with the PEGI logo. It is something that Reef and Idea Factory have been doing for quite a while now, but it does cover up quite a bit of artwork. Fortunately, the reverse sleeve sometimes does reflect and avoid this issue, but in this instance the reverse sleeve is actually a bit different, which you'll see in a moment. So here we have the tour without the packaging. And then once we open it up, you'll be welcomed with an English-only presentation. So there we have the info sheet for France, I believe. And then we have, on the right-hand side, entirely new artwork featuring Neptune and 3 different characters. And then on the left side, a different type of reversed back-of-box information, which features a key selling point and then gameplay highlights with screenshots explaining them, which I think is really nice, and it kind of illustrates that this is what the sleeve could have looked like for an English-only audience, and then localized for each relevant language. But either way, I might actually reverse sleeve it and use the reverse sleeve as my main sort of cover. So that's pretty much what you can expect from the Day 1 edition of Neptunia Game Maker Revolution for the Nintendo Switch, which is now available in Europe.